All right, so I would like to introduce Ameen Moslehi for opening remark. Ameen Moslehi is our Acting Chief Information Officer for the County of Santa Clara and the Head of Technology Services Solutions Department. Before accepting this role, he has served critical roles, including Associate CIO, IT Director of TSS Health System Vertical, and Public Safety Justice. As a Director of Public Safety Justice IT Director, he led several change initiatives, including organizational change process enhancements to align governance with service delivery and value expectations. While he was IT Director of Health Systems, he played a key role in the leadership team that successfully deployed technology solutions across numerous sites in the county, including Levi stadiums, to support COVID-19 testing and vaccination efforts. He also led the integration of O'Connor St. Louisa Regional Hospital and the DePaul Medical Center into county's health system following the acquisition in 2019. With that, I would like to hand it over to Ameen.
Thank you, Yoko. I mean, when you hear an introduction like that about yourself, it sounds like you've really done a lot. So I appreciate that introduction. Thank you so much. My name is Ameen Moslehi. I'm the acting CIO for the County of Santa Clara. I want to welcome you all to GIS Day 2025. This is my third year here, first year speaking. And every year it seems to grow. And I really like to see a lot of folks here. It's rare that we get opportunities to be able to get folks together to collaborate. So I do appreciate everyone being here, and I look forward to that collaboration. I'm not a GIS expert. There's been so many initiatives that we've done with Yoko and her team that have involved GIS, but I'm not an expert myself. So I thought I would start with a bit of a story about how I came to learn how to use maps. And I know that GIS is more than just maps, and maybe people get tired of just saying maps when it comes to GIS, but this is how my story starts. So I was probably 9 years old, and as my family typically did, we would take vacations up and down California coast. And many times we end up in LA. And like many of the vacations that we've taken in the past, my parents would always be on the front seat arguing about why it's taking so long to get somewhere, why my dad's not changing lanes at the right time, all kinds of stuff. And so there was one trip, again, when I was around 9 years old, where my dad got so frustrated. He gave me the map, and we had this really thick map that we got from State Farm. It was like a book. And it had all of kind of Western states documented in that map book. And he said, I can't do it anymore. Tell us how to get home. Your mom won't let me drive. And so I said, okay. So I was 9 years old. The first time I've ever really looked at a map, I opened the book. And the first thing I realized is I was trying to figure out where we were, but I was looking at the map of Oregon. It was the wrong map. And so I finally got to California. I kind of figured out with street signs where we were. I aligned it a little bit with what we looked on the map. And given we were just probably 20, 40 minutes out of LA, I started giving my dad direction on how to get to where we wanted to go. Take the street, make a left here, exit here. And it was really exciting. It was exciting for me to be able to take these maps and all this information as data and not just tell my dad what to do, but kind of govern how we were moving and how we were going to get to a certain place at such a young age. So as you guys know, LA to San Francisco, I mean, LA to San Jose, about 4.5, 5 hours. It took us 9 hours to get home that day. But the good news is that I learned a lot about using maps. My parents stopped arguing about changing lanes. And it really helped me understand from a map perspective, from a data perspective, how powerful things like that could be. Fast forward about 6 years, 6 or 7 years later, MapQuest came out. Everyone knows MapQuest. Everyone used it, hopefully. Everyone's used it, right? MapQuest, remember that? It came out, and I thought back to that trip, and I thought, gosh, if I just had MapQuest, it could have been so much easier, so much better. And at that time, I was printing out MapQuest things, and I would go in my car, and I would go places, and I thought to myself, this is the pinnacle. Nothing's going to get better than MapQuest. I'm never going to get lost. It is so easy. Obviously, fast forward now, and it's changed so much, but that was kind of my history of maps and my understanding of them, up until just probably 10 years ago. I think I've learned so much since then, and GIS isn't really just about the maps, right? It's about the data that's on top of the maps that help inform decisions that are being made. We experienced that when we implemented a new CAD system for our 911 department, understanding really how those maps would help inform how to get to emergencies on time was a big deal. You know, at TSS, GIS kind of works behind the scenes a lot every single day. And the things that they do to route first responders is really important. To verify a voter's address to their ballot counts, really important. Today's voting day. Hopefully you all have voted. Who's voted? All right, everybody, great. Should I ask you what you voted for? So it verifies the voter's address and it helps the assessors, you know, value properties more appropriately. You know, you look at one of our platforms, SCC Map, our main platform, nearly 5,000 users access that website every month. I know I access it myself. There's a lot of work that we do with our local schools to kind of understand what the boundaries are and how we can help provide services. It's really helpful for that. It helps us understand from a resident perspective what kind of county services are available to you in your neighborhoods. So just basic things like that are really what brings tools like this to the public in a meaningful way. In the future, we're also trying to explore how AI can help us advance what we're doing with GIS. You know, I think there's been a lot of discussion about GIS replacing a lot of things. I think from our perspective, we're looking at it from an efficiency perspective to see how we can help, how we can use AI to help us do more things. Things like detecting land use from satellite imagery, understanding those land use changes ahead of time, starting to predict when roads and pipes may need replacement before they burst is a big thing that we're looking at AI to use for. And then finding ways to continue to cut time for emergency response. Like I said, we work really closely with our county comms department and understanding how we can bring in AI to help our emergency services get to incidents faster is a big priority for us. So none of this happens without collaboration, and that is partially why you're here today. What we're trying to really do is understand how our LiDAR consortium can be further expanded. We're on our 7th year now of that consortium, something like that. And it's really kind of shows how regional partners collaborating together can make a big change. I think independently we can do a lot of things, but when we come together and share the information and learn from one another, it's a great opportunity for us to expand our ability and our capacity. So that's been a really helpful. We've also developed a countywide GIS roadmap. I think that Yoko and her team are going to talk about a little bit later that helps align the work that everybody's doing under kind of single goal. We also want to try to modernize the platforms that we're using to make sure that things make sense and how we're developing them, but also we can share best practices when it comes to governance and data governance specifically. So that is going to be a big effort for us going forward, and that roadmap is something that we're going to continue to develop as time passes. With that, I only have until 9:15. I know we started late, but I want to keep the schedule going. I want to, again, thank you all for being here. Please take an opportunity today to kind of learn from us so we can also learn from you. Maybe meet some new folks and kind of share your ideas and thoughts as we go through the day. So I appreciate everyone being here. Thank you.